Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a big fan of my 12 episode series. But when this Chinese anime or donghua surfaced, I was hesitant at first because of how different it is to what I usually consume. Eventually, I did give it a try after putting it off for the longest time, and oh boy, was I blown away. Enter Link Click, a show about two friends, Cheng Xiaoshi and Lu Guang. They run a camera shop with a twist. They have powers that let them enter photographs, all with a single clap. Embarrassing moment in front of your crush? Trying to overthrow an evil corporation from the inside out? Mom caught you looking at app shots of Lu Guang? They use these powers to help out their clients, essentially going back in time to the events surrounding the picture and figuring how to grant the client's request. However, with every dive, Lu Guang and Cheng Xiaoshi run the risk of changing the future of their client, and therefore they must tread lightly when entering a photograph. But they will soon come to know that the most difficult thing to do is to push their emotions aside and to complete the task at hand. So what I really liked about this series is that each episode tackles a different issue, but it felt somewhat surreal when everything came together at the end, and it left me with a feeling of, what the hell? I felt that each issue was very cleverly crafted, and it never failed to catch me off guard at one point or another. Other than that, the art style was very unique. It is somewhat traditionally anime inspired, but I could tell that these characters were of a different ethnicity. And come on, these guys look fresh as f***. I also like that the concept of time travel through the photographs were easily understood and explained with no loopholes or anything of that nature. I love the soundtrack as well, and I can't not mention that beeping sound at the end of every episode. How ingenious is that? On the other hand, I wasn't a really big fan of the subbing. It felt like it was directly translated from the Mandarin dialogue, and it made it quite hard to understand several conversations in the series. And I would loved it if they explored more into the characters themselves, such as their backstory and whatnot. But I do understand the time constraints of an 11 episode series, but it would have been nice to include, let's say, how Lu Guang and Cheng Xiaoshi met and how they discovered their powers. So, all in all, I would give this series a personal rating of an 8 out of 10. And yes, it is definitely worth the watch. So, any longtime fans of Steins Gate would feel right at home with this show. But for people like me who are relatively new to anime, I would recommend Erased or Tokyo Revengers. Both of these shows are of the thriller genre and heavily toy around with the concept of time travel. A Japanese dub of the show did come out, but I would encourage you to watch it in its subbed format. It keeps the original feel of the show. It's not to say that the dub will be bad. It's just kind of like recommending the Japanese dub of Into the Spider-Verse instead of the original English version.
今まで22年間この世にたった一人のスパイダーマンだ。
Yeah, still feels weird.
Lastly, I would encourage any people still sitting on the fence to jump in head first and to jump in blind. With that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.